fire. Make sure I did. I did not. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Happy Tuesday. Happy tantalizing Tuesday. How are you today? I'm absolutely amazing. I'm fantastic. And it's just like the weather today couldn't have been any perfect. Well, the weather couldn't have been any perfect, but had I been sitting on a beach somewhere, had I been sitting in Cartagena, it would have been the icing on the cake. But it wasn't, so it is what it is. Today I wanted to, since it's Taco Tuesday, you know I try to come and bring you a little flair, something different, or as I call it, Taco Tuesday with a twist. Today I decided to come to you and share with you the recipe that I created while I was in Cartagena last February. It is shrimp patacones, and which is pretty much just fried plantains with shrimp in a tomato salsa base. It's really, really good, really quick to prepare. So I'm like, hey, let me do something quick. I encouraged some of you, I'm like, hey, if you want to eat a little something, if you want to create this dish while I prepare it, we can do it together. So maybe some of you did it. And if you did, I'm super excited. If you didn't get an opportunity to do so, no sweat. This live will be here for you. Oh, and for you too, to come out and prepare it at your own leisure. So now with that being said, the ingredients that you were going to need was green plantains. And I went ahead and took the peel off. This one, luckily I got a couple. This one was just being a little temperamental. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go get your friend. Your friend gonna take care of me. So I was able to go ahead and get the peel off of this plantain. And so plantains, shrimp, onions, garlic, tomatoes, oregano. What else do I have? Oh, chilies. And these chilies are similar to, as far as a heat complex, similar to the poblano pepper. So it's not very hot. So you can go ahead and indulge in these. I'm still going to dice it up very small so that when it's blended in with the salsa, you don't get that powerful kick, but you get a little heat, a little bite afterwards. So the chilies, we've got garlic, and I wanted to be able to show you the plantains as they were frying. So I brought my burner out and I've got it on the counter, and I'll slide it back. Once I get the plantains sliced up, I'll slide it back so you can see them as they're being prepared. And then I will go ahead and show you what I do with the salsa as well as the shrimp. The shrimp we will do last because why? Right? Who's that this hand? Hey, greetings. We'll do the shrimp last, of course, because it does not take long to prepare. And we'll need like 2 minutes for that. That way, once that's finished, we can assemble the little minis, the little tapas style plantains with the shrimp, and you can indulge. With that being said, since I've already got the plantain, the peel off of the plantain, I'm going to go ahead and slice them. You want to slice them maybe about a 1/2 inch thick, and I'll let you know why. For my press, there's a little section right here. So you'll put your plantain in the center. As you can see, I've been playing already. You'll place your plantain there, so when you close it, it'll come up into this little nook, and then it will squish. If you do not have a press, no big deal, no sweat. Get you a cast iron skillet or a baking dish, something that's got a flat surface that you can put it on the plantain and squish it so that it flares out. That's what you really want. You want that plantain to become a vessel for your shrimp once it has been prepared. So, as I stated before, we're going to go ahead and slice these maybe about a ½ inch thick. Let me see how accurate I am with this. Just curious. I've got my, I call it my scooper. And it's got measurements, what is it, 6 inches is on here. Not too bad, a little over half, but that's okay. Because you would rather have the ratio once you place your shrimp on here to be kind of the same. So, but that's why I said, you know, about a ½ inch thick. Go ahead and get these sliced up. I'm gonna leave that last one a little bit on the larger side because if I cut it again, guess what? Then it's gonna be too small. So this has been heating. I went ahead and got the heat going prior to starting the live. So I'm going to bring this back just a little. And we'll go ahead and drop them into the oil. Just like that. You want the your oil to cover the plantain. You don't want it to be like a whole lot. You're not really submerging them, but you do want it to cover so that the bottom and the top are cooking evenly. I am going to go ahead and take that last little slice off of there. Drop it in. So what do we have? We've got 8. Perfect. We've got 8 plantains going in there. While those are going, we are going to start the salsa. Now with the salsa, you will go ahead and you'll have the tomatoes, the garlic, the chilies, and let's see, we've got the tomatoes, garlic. Yep. So I'm going to go ahead, actually the tomato, butter. We've got about a ½ cup of butter, so let's get that going. You want to put that on a medium to low heat. So we'll let that skillet get hot. But while it's getting hot, I'm going to get my garlic ready. Now, for this particular recipe, you can buy the minced garlic, or you can get whole cloves of garlic, and if you have a garlic press, do it yourself. I'm using both. I will use the whole cloves for when I get ready to prepare the shrimp, and now I'm using the minced for the salsa. This is a garlic heavy recipe, so if you do not like garlic, it's okay. You can adjust it. You can adjust it. Add as little bit or a lot as you want. But it is a garlic heavy recipe. Actually, for this recipe, when you are preparing the shrimp, it calls for 8 cloves of garlic, thinly sliced, so that when you place it in the butter, you're going to let that go ahead and marinate, so to speak. You want it to come to a brown color but not burnt, and then you'll go ahead and add in the rest of the ingredients from there. So because we've got time, we've got to allow that skillet to get hot, and we're waiting for these plantains to get its color going, and they are cooking up very nicely, I might add. Go ahead and get these sliced. I'm probably not going to do all 8, only because I'm not preparing for a large group. I am preparing for me, myself, and I. So we'll go ahead and get these sliced up. If you're going to prepare for a large group, you would go ahead and add like the 8 cloves of garlic. And when I say thinly sliced, this is probably the thickness that you want it. Not sure if you can see. Very thin. And that way when you place it in the skillet with the butter, it's got that nice little coating on it. Oh, they're in the bath. They're having fun in the bath. I think I'm going to do 1 more clove of garlic. Yeah, just 1 more. That way I can go ahead and actually, before I take those off, I'm going to flip the plantains on the other side. So pretty. Once they come out of the grease, you will place them on a paper towel, and then while they are hot, you'll go ahead and use that press. Let that sit for about another minute. You want to transition the cutting board to the rear. And prepare the plate for the plantains to come out. Get the towel in there. Go ahead and dig these babies out. You just want them to drain just a little bit to allow some of the grease that's currently in there, allow it to drain off, and that will happen while you are pressing them. So now we will go ahead and place the plantain on the press, flatten it. It'll look like this. So you are transitioning it. Let me see if I can allow you to see it. So you transitioned it from about this size to this size. There's the thickness on it. Let's go ahead and get the rest of these flattened out. And like I said, if you don't have one, you'll take I'll show you just hypothetically. I'm going to use a glove for this. Take one, oh well, let's say we didn't have this part, right? We'll take one, and because I don't have a skillet handy, I'm just going to smash it. So you would put it like on a plate, smash it down, and voila. I took my, what is that called? Measuring cup. And smashed it. I think that's about it. Nope, got 2 more. If you want to purchase a press, they've got some really, really nice ones. I got mine from the farmer's market. I do have a really nice metal one. However, the attachment was giving me the blues, so I went with my standby. So now that we've gotten those nice and flattened, we're going to drop them right back in here. We're going to let them swim around for about a minute. So you don't want to take your eye off. You just kind of want to let them in. You'll see just like you're frying anything else, you'll allow since we pressed them out, you'll get the bubbles. They'll hang out for about a minute. And then we're going to go ahead and as soon as they come out of the grease, you're going to salt them, let them hang out while we get the rest of the dish prepared. They're turning a beautiful golden brown. So we'll go ahead. I'm going to get about another 30 seconds. And guess what? I'm going to turn you know what? I was going to turn the heat off. But once I take these out, I'm going to transition this skillet over here so you guys can watch as I prepare the salsa. We're going to do that in the same pan. Actually, we're going to have to do the shrimp first. We'll do the shrimp, get them cooked, set them to the side, then do the salsa. That way, no, we can't do that either. We're going to do it the original way. We'll make the salsa. We'll transition that to a plate. The reason why I want to do the shrimp last is because once we add the white wine, we want to deglaze that skillet so that it's going to make this nice little juicy topping to go on to the shrimp. All right, those are just beautiful. I'm going to go ahead, dig them out. Golden, beautiful, brown. I will turn the heat down just a little until I transition that skillet over here. Yes, 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 yes. Slide that over here. Move this over here. All right, now that we've got that done, salt, add the salt. That still is a little higher than I want it. We're gonna take that off, let it cool down just a little. Because I'm gonna add the butter to there, we don't want it to scorch. So I'll put that on that back eye to allow it to cool down a little bit. And then we're gonna turn this off until we get ready for it. It'll pop right back up. Put that salt on there. I'm just gonna go ahead and mix it up a little bit. Let them sit. Transition them over here. All right, now we are going to get ready to make the sauce. For this, you'll add the diced tomatoes. Let's go ahead and get those tomatoes diced. Let's do that. Let that skillet cool off. And it's okay that my garlic is still hanging out over here because we're going to need it. You want to slice your tomatoes into cubes. However you choose to do it. Sometimes I will just go ahead and slice them into discs, and then I will go back and cube those discs up. I'll show you one technique, and then I'll go back with the other tomato and show you the other technique that I do. Whichever is your preference. Just as long as you get some cubes out of it, you are good to go. So I just slice it one way, twist it, slice it the other way, and then you've got your tomato cubes. All right, so we're going to do some more rather quickly. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. We'll get the last one, or the last 2. And actually, these are going to be enough tomatoes for that. What the heck? Let's go ahead and do one more. Depending on how you want to do it, you can keep it whole and slice it this way. And then go down the side of the tomato and cube it that way. Whichever is your preference. All right. And no, I'm not going to throw this away. I'm going to keep this because I will definitely eat this later. I love tomatoes. Make a good tomato sandwich. All right. We got the tomatoes done. We're going to start out. Get this heat going again over here. Turn it down. It's not overly hot, but why test it when you can just use the towel? All right, so we're going to allow this to get hot. It is still hot. And we'll go ahead and add the oil to here. You want to evenly coat the bottom of the skillet. Let that get hot. I'm going to try to bring this back some more. Put the lid back on here. Oh, I don't know what I did that for. I haven't even used it yet. All right. Let that get hot. Grab a spoon. Oh yeah, I need to grab my onion. Here again, you want this on a medium-low heat. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons. You want to spread it out so that the garlic is cooking evenly. Go ahead and get this onion chopped up. Keep an eye on your garlic. You do not want it to burn, but you do want it to get brown. Get that skin off. You know, you can actually keep like the skin from the onions, and when you want to do like a vegetable stock, you can add like all of your extra, like your bell peppers and the skin from your onions. You can add all of that stuff into a pot. Like the celery stock, all of that. Keep it if you want to go ahead and make a homemade vegetable stock. Get this onion. Here again, these are going to be cubes. You want everything to be as consistent as possible on your chop. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I'm going to go ahead and add the onion. You want that onion to cook until it becomes translucent. Put a little bit more in there because I like onions. Smells wonderful in here. What did I do with my towel? There's nothing like the smell of onions and garlic. Makes the house smell like grandma been in the kitchen cooking. I'm gonna allow those. They're almost where I want them to be. So I'm just gonna let them hang out just a little bit longer while I make some space over here. I prepared some of the plantains earlier just to see how my setup was gonna go, and I only did 4, but I'm telling y'all, I was ready to go back in and make the rest of them jokers. It was so good, so good. All right, now the onions are where I want them to be. Let's see, I've got the chilies. Chili. So as I said, you know what? I'm gonna stick a glove on while I prepare these chilies, just in case something happens and I don't get my hand wash. I don't want to end up with this on my face, especially near my eyes. And you can keep the seeds. So this chili has got a lot of seeds in here. You can keep this, throw that in the broth, because everything you're going to end up straining off anyway when you're making your vegetable stock. Give these a really fine chop. You want to dice these very, very, very small. As I stated, they are peppers and they're mild, but if you're not big on spice and you get a mouthful, you don't want to get caught off guard. I'll just add those in there. Let them hang out for a second. Oh, I got another little treat for you too. But y'all see that at the end. Super excited. All right, we're gonna allow those chilies to soften up just a little bit. And then once we get this finished, we're gonna go ahead and add the tomatoes to this mixture. What you want to do with the texture that you're trying to achieve, you want those tomatoes to sit in there and make, as they cook, you want them to start to separate somewhat and thicken. You want this to be a thick salsa that you will add to the plantains and the shrimp at the end. So those have done their thing. We're going to go ahead and add those tomatoes. Some of these tomatoes mixed up with the onions. And I was going to say, so what? But now you don't want to have the two different types of, you know, the softened onions and then the raw onions. Or you can, if you want to. I like raw, I just like onions, period. Yep, so we're going to allow those to cook. The tomatoes will become soft. They will start to separate, so to speak. And then they're going to make this thick sauce, this thick topping salsa to put on there. Now, my dear friend, one of my besties, inquired about making a mango salsa, and I had told her, sure, we can do that, and we will. I think I will just end up adding this at the end after it has done its thing and the tomato has started to make a the sauce. It's at the consistency that I want it to be, because I have the mangoes right here already diced up. So while that's doing its thing, I've got my shrimp all ready to go. I marinated them. When you prepare this, prepare your shrimp, season your shrimp however you choose to do it. There is a tropical seasoning that I absolutely love. So I got the shrimp, you know, peeled and deveined with the tail off. I let it marinate overnight, took them out of the refrigerator, and so when I get ready to cook these, it's going to be super quick. We're going to throw that butter in the skillet, let it melt down. We're going to take those thinly sliced garlic slices, add that to the butter, let it get a golden brown. We're going to add the shrimp. We'll allow it to cook, I say 45 seconds to a minute, no more than a minute. Flip it on the other side, let that cook. We will add in that wine. Actually, we're going to remove the shrimp from the skillet. We'll add in the wine, deglaze it. We'll add the shrimp back in, and guess what? That's it. It's done. And then we assemble the yummy goodness. So as you can see, it's starting to thicken up. So we want to, once it starts to thicken, we've got it on a medium low heat. We're going to turn it up just a notch, just a little bit. So I'm going to say medium to medium high heat. And this is over here. I've got my butter here ready to go, hang out in the skillet. I've got my shrimp. I am going to, and you know, it's always about the plating sometimes, right? You would believe, I went through one plate and I'm like, nah, we're going to do that, we're going to do this. So I found this cute little plate so that I can, that's why when I said, ooh, I got 8, I'm like, that's perfect. So I can assemble them, lay them oh so daintily on this plate. We'll add the sauce. We'll top it with the shrimp. And then I got something else I'm going to put on there too. Oh, we might as well do this. I've got some chives, and although I need to chop those up, that is not That is not the surprise. But I still want this to get a little bit thicker. So in the interim, we might as well make good use of our time. So we'll go ahead and the chives we're just going to use as garnish to make a pretty plate. That is what we're going to do. We'll take some lime, shave some lime zest on top. Truly, truly make it an island dish. Although it already was an island dish. I went with this group last year. It's called the Travel Junkies. And had an absolute, actually, that particular trip was scheduled for February of 2020. But of course, we all know this little thing called the vid. We won't say the whole entire name, but it came and rocked the world, not just the United States, but the entire world. Sent us on a total loop, and we are still coming out of that. But the cool thing about it, once the travel restrictions were lifted, we went ahead and we were able to transfer all of our travel plans to last year. Yeah, I went February of 2022. And man, there's nothing like being in a new place and looking at and enjoying the culture. The weather was absolutely perfect. So it only made sense to go ahead. Oh, yes. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I am going to, I'm going to transfer this. Actually, I'm going to put it in this measuring cup. So that way when I get ready to add it to the plantains, it is all ready to go. Man, I could have used some wine in here and be great. Oh, maybe let's do it. Okay, chef, come on, let's do it. Just a little. We're not leaving all that goodness in that skillet. Absolutely not. So we're going to end up pouring that into that tomato salsa. We're going to get some of this mango. Let it hang out in there just a little bit. So when I add this heat to it, it can go ahead and do its thing without not totally being submerged into there we go. Don't you just love it when you're like doing something, you're like, oh, I like the way that turned out. That turned out even better than I was planning on it. That was that right there. Yes. So I've got my butter right here. We're going to go ahead and allow it to melt down. Do about half a cup. We'll let that melt down completely, and then we'll go ahead and place the shrimp in there. But as I was saying about Cartagena, really being able to be there and enjoy the culture and the color and the vibrant color. You know, I had to go ahead and something on that kind of was like vibrant and bold and colorful. But I took a mud bath. Yeah, there's a volcano that's there, and it's got this mud, and you just submerge yourself in it. And they've got people there, of course, to assist you as you are, because now they say that you can't sink, although I came close a couple times. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. And they're like, just relax, just relax. And you do. It's a mindset thing. You have to tell yourself you're going to be okay. And I was, because I'm here. So that's nice and hot. We're going to go ahead, add that shrimp. So since we have 4 plantains, I was going to do, well, we've got 8. But I'm going to do a little bit more, just in case I want to stack my shrimp. Because some of us are huge shrimp lovers. Let's get that little corner over there. Set that to the side. Was y'all timing? Was y'all watching for me? Was y'all watching to see what time I put them in there so we can flip them after a minute? No? Y'all supposed to be my audience. Y'all supposed to help me out a little bit. All right. When you start to see them turning pink on one side, you're pretty good to go ahead and flip those over. Yep. Allow them to cook on the other side. This is going to be so good. It's got all that flavor from the marinade on there. Just a few more. Yes, yes, and yes. While I wait for those, actually, I'm going to take the plantains, put them on the plate, so when the shrimp are ready to come out, we can put them on here, let them drain off before placing them on the plantains. Oh, I think I'm going to put that one in the middle, because it's kind of got its own little flair thing going on. I'm just going to take a little bite. Ooh, y'all don't know what y'all missing. I hope y'all went and got y'all ingredients. Yes. Ready. You're ready. We're going to turn it off. It's so good. Come on. Ooh. So good. All right. I turned it off, but we're still going to deglaze this. I turned off the heat because I didn't want that flavor to continue to cook I got flavor all up. Oh man. It's like a now later. Have some now, save some for later. So we want the wine to cook off. I am going to set this to the side. I'm going to use this as a drizzle onto the shrimp and the plantains. But while this is happening, and this is going to be like a golden brown. It just looks amazing. I'm going to taste it. Oh. Yes. So, transparency moment, right? I'm working out and becoming a healthier me. And I have to eat stuff like this. Luckily, I don't make a whole lot, but I'm going in on these tonight. But guess what? This will be all that I will eat for the evening. What time is it? Yep. My last, between 7 and 7:30 is the last meal that I try to have. So that means I need to move it up a little bit and start the assembling, because I want to be able to enjoy my dinner. So we are going to transfer this over here so that I can move this out of the way. We're just going to move some stuff around. Put that shrimp back there. We're going to leave the salsa up here. Leave this shrimp up here. That's a little one. Set this over here on this table. Just making space for my burner so that I can assemble this properly. Do the two-fisted bandit over here. All right. Now for the fun stuff. We've got our plantains here. And let's see, how do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? Yep, I want this on the bottom. We're going to top the plantains with the salsa. Just like that. Got those mangoes in there. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. And it doesn't have to be like perfect, especially if you're just eating yourself. That larger one, I'm gonna put some more salsa on. Good Lord, this stuff looks amazing. Then you're just gonna add your shrimp to the top, and I will pick this up so that you can see what it looks like. Oh, that one got looked over. So I probably will add more of those to this, but because I don't want to take a huge bite, I'm gonna just go for one right now. And remember, I told you that I had a star making its appearance today. Y'all know how I love guacamole, right? So I had a couple of avocados, and it was like, well, you can either wait and have it for breakfast, and like make an avocado toast, or you can top these with it. I opted for topping it. And it's so good. The avocados were just right. The guacamole came out nice and creamy. We're gonna sprinkle those chives on top. And then, bon appetit. There you have it. So, I think I'm going in on this one over here because the shrimp fell off after I put the guacamole on there, which meant that it was trying to escape. Not on my watch. Y'all, you can taste everything. The plantains were cooked just right. They've got that nice crisp on there. This right here, I'm gonna figure out how to bottle this. I'm gonna figure out how to bottle this. This was amazing. Shout out to my girl Jay, who asked about the mangoes because it gave it just a little hint of sweetness. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. The shrimp cooked perfectly. That marinade, allowing them to sit and do their thing. The shrimp prepared perfectly. The guacamole, ever so nice and light and delicate and creamy. You taste the onions, you taste the lime, you taste the cilantro, the tomatoes. I love tomatoes. So here's the thing. This is like supposed to be like a garlic heavy, but it was good. It was you don't have to worry about holding your mouth like this when you want to talk to somebody because you feel like you got garlic. No. This was amazing. This was absolutely amazing. I hope that you took copious notes and that you, plus, you know, you can come back and watch this live a little bit later. I gave you all of the ingredients needed for this. I don't know. I might go and drop the instructions or the directions. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Let's say electric. So, yes, you want it? I got you. I just saw your comment about the salt grinder. The two twins, peas in the pot. I got you. Hey, Talik. Glad you were able to watch it. Yeah, this is wonderful. Let me give you the rundown again. One, depending on the number of guests that you're going to have, if it's for yourself, let's just say it's for yourself because this is how it was prepared this evening. I used one green plantain, remove the peel from it, slice it about 1/2 inch thick. Throw that baby in some grease, or I use canola oil. Just cover it a little bit. You want it to be covered. Don't pour a whole lot in there. You just want it to be covered a little bit. Let it cook for about 8 minutes, flipping it midway so you got that golden pretty color on both sides. Once you take it out, put it on a paper towel, allow it to drain, smash it, place them back in the grease for about a minute. Once they're removed, immediately salt them and then set them to the side. Let that salt kind of hang out, do its thing. Then you can start with the salsa, right? So with the salsa, we started with, coated the skillet with some oil. Now on that one, I use that, it's an olive and, what is this one? Avocado grapeseed oil blend. I use that blend, coated the skillet. Then I added in the garlic. I allowed it to get brown but not burned. Once that's done, you throw in the onions. Allow the onions to become translucent. From there, you add, what did we do from there? I added in the chilies. Added in the chilies. Let them soften up a little bit. Then you add in your tomatoes. You want those tomatoes to cook down to until they become like a, almost like a tomato, well, not so much a sauce, but you want it to be a thick salsa. You want it to be, so, you know, you say it's salsa and you immediately think, oh, salsa and chips, but you want this to be hot. You go ahead and throw your mangoes up in there if you so choose to. But once those tomatoes get to where they are, take it off. But if yours ended up like mine, there was still a lot of yummy goodness hanging out on that skillet. So I went ahead and deglazed it with that white wine, added that on top. So I wanted to use the same skillet because we're trying to watch out for having to have so much to clean afterwards. So this is also a clean friendly recipe. Once we got those done, boom, add that 1/2 cup of butter, let it melt down. Once it does its thing, you'll add in the thinly sliced garlic cloves. Let those brown up. From there, boom, add your shrimp in there. Cook the shrimp on both sides about 1 minute. Remove them from the mixture. Add in some of that white wine. Let it do its thing. And there you have it. You can place the shrimp back into that. Oh, y'all, why'd y'all tell? I think y'all was hating a little bit. No? I did all of that. And I forgot to drizzle this stuff on there. I guess that means I got to try another one. We're going to get a small one, though. That was beautiful. Actually, all right, I think I'm going to cut it. I was trying to chew that. That was a lot. I'll slice that in half. Got that drizzle on there. That's just not doing what I want to do. But we're going to make it work. We're going to just, it's a deconstructed Patacones. With that butter and garlic sauce. Y'all tired of me yet? Did you get what you needed? You good? You need anything else? Because I got to eat. It's time for me to eat. But all jokes aside, I truly want to thank you for tuning in to a taste of Taco Tuesday with a twist, a taste of Cartagena, where we prepare shrimp patacones. So on that note, I hope you have an absolutely amazing evening. Go enjoy the rest of your night. Love up on your family. Because guess what? I'm loving up on you. Now, on that note, peace out. One love.